It is no secret that Americans are struggling with obesity, but the numbers are astounding. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports more than 78 million adults in the U.S. are obese. That's nearly 35% of us. And when it comes to our kids, 17% of young people ages 2 to 19 years old are considered obese. Big part of our problem? What we're putting into our mouths.
Foods that we regularly stock our shelves with are actually loaded with sugar, and some are items you probably wouldn't have expected.
Granola bars.
A lot of them are very close to candy bars.
Salad dressing. The average American consumes 22 teaspoons of sugar a day, more than twice the standard guideline of 9.5. Dietitian Kay-Ann Taylor says many products thought to be healthy or labeled low fat are actually packed with high amounts of sugar.
If the fat goes down, then the sugar goes up.
Taylor says food labels have changed in recent years. Many no longer list sugar, but instead use words like fructose, cane sugar, honey, and invert sugar.
Those are all forms of sugar that sneak into our food supply.
Tomato-based products such as ketchup, pasta sauce, and tomato soup tend to be loaded with hidden sugar. This jar of marinara sauce contains 10 grams of sugar per half-cup serving.
You need to flip and start looking at the ingredient label and the nutrition panel to really see what is in your food supply.
That's just what 40-year-old Mary G did and lost 30 pounds.
I try to find things that have less fat, especially less saturated fat, and less sugar.
Try this. Food labels list ingredients in order of highest to lowest, so look for foods with protein and fiber as top ingredients. Remember to always choose fresh over processed. Set aside a few minutes at the same time every day for food prep, like you would any other healthy habit. You may find that you don't need sugar as much as you thought.
Kay-Ann Taylor says if a product label lists sugar first, you want to avoid it or limit your consumption since the product is mostly sugar. Mary G says after a few weeks of eating more fresh food, she started to lose her craving for sugar. She's still losing weight and plans on losing 30 more pounds to reach her goal. But it's not just sugar. There are plenty of other fattening foods out there, foods that will have you packing on the pounds in no time. So let's work on getting your health back on track, not only with your diet, but other tricks as well. Jimmy, you have more on that.
Well, before you know it, the nip in the air is going to be a distant memory. It'll be time to show off that buff bikini body. Does that thought alone make you cringe? Well, it is true. By the time warmer weather rolls around, most New Year's resolutions to eat healthier and get in shape have long been broken. Oh, but wait. Don't throw your hands up just yet. Our next guest says it's never too late to turn back the clock on your health and start your do-over. Dr. Michael Roizen is a wellness expert and author of This Is Your Do-Over, The 7 Secrets to Losing Weight, Living Longer, and Getting a Second Chance at the Life You Want. Dr. Roizen, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Jimmy, it's a privilege. Thank you.
So you say it's never too late to get our health better. Are you saying that we can actually erase past mistakes?
That's exactly right. So in everything else, we give ourselves second chances. So warm weather, you think about golf, people get mulligans. If you will, directors say take two. We expect our kids to learn from their mistakes. In health, we just don't forgive ourselves and say we can move on. Sure, I had those cookies, or I gained that weight back, or I stopped my exercise program. But it's never too late. The oldest people we've worked with are over 100 years old. So you can actually pull plaque out of your arteries. You can reverse type 2 diabetes. You can get off your blood pressure medications. That's what this is all about. Those people who succeeded, we found out the essential 7 things they were doing, and that's what's in the book.
Okay, so you're sharing some things that we can do to get our health back on track, and one of them is just to walk?
Right, it's as simple as getting a buddy, that is, finding a buddy is really the secret sauce, and we'll come back to that, and walking 10,000 steps a day, or if you swim, you get 100 steps a minute for swimming, so there's some equivalents you can get. But 10,000 steps a day breaks down insulin resistance. 8,000 only gets you about 40% of the benefit of 10,000. 12,000, no more benefit than 10,000. And the key is you want to take the blood sugar from the blood, that is the sugar from inside your bloodstream, and take it into your cells. Inside your bloodstream, it increases inflammation, it damages your proteins. inside your cells, it gives you energy and vitality to do all the things you want. So you want to break down insulin resistance, because insulin is the FedEx truck that takes the sugar from the bloodstream and puts it into your cells. It's the delivery truck.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you say, obviously diet's one of the big things. You say that we've got to arrest and imprison the 5 food felons. Tell me about that.
Right, so there are 5 things in food that only cause us harm, and you don't want those. Simple sugars, added syrups, and non-100% whole grains. Those raise your blood sugar too fast, which, as we said, damages your proteins and causes inflammation in your body. So hemoglobin A1C is one of the things we measure with type 2 diabetes. All that is a hemoglobin which normally releases oxygen to have a sugar on it, which inhibits it from releasing oxygen to your cells. So that's a damaged protein. Okay. The second thing is saturated and trans fat. Those change your genes so that they increase inflammation. On the other hand, there are a couple foods that we don't expect that we consider indulgences, walnuts and coffee, that actually decrease inflammation. So the more you have of those, the better you are.
Okay, so we always hear that a support system is important. Is it really crucial?
It's absolutely crucial. So virtually every one of the 18 million people that we sent questionnaires to who responded to us, and our own patients said the key for them was a buddy. So you can go to walnuts.org and get a buddy if you don't want to have one, if you don't have one, or want an anonymous one. You don't trust everyone to keep your secrets. Well, you can get an anonymous one at walnuts.org. And the key was that buddy should be listening to you, should respond to you, and you'll trust them enough to let them give you a smackdown when you need it, when you need to keep on the track. Food and the couch are too good for us to stay doing our 10,000 steps. That's why people break the resolutions at this time of year. So they're just too good without a buddy to help you be accountable.
Wellness expert Dr. Michael Roizen, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, if you'd like to know more about what he just had to say, just go to WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page. Dr. Roizen mentioned a couple of things that are actually beneficial to our health, and one of them is walnuts, which have a heart-healthy fat. Just goes to show you, not all fats are detrimental. Here are a few more things you might want to add to your diet. Don't be afraid to eat fats, because there are healthy fats that actually have a variety of health benefits, including weight loss. First, eat fatty, oily fish like salmon, tuna, sardines, and trout, because they're full of omega-3 fatty acids. Also, egg yolks are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, as well as packed with B vitamins, choline, and nutrients to help regulate the brain, as well as cardiovascular and nervous systems. Try adding avocados to your diet. They're loaded with monosaturated fat and lower bad cholesterol. Eat chickpeas, which are high in fiber and packed with protein. You can eat them plain or make them into a side of hummus. And finally, don't forget to add almonds, walnuts, and pistachios into your diet. They've been linked to lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Now, also, try extra virgin coconut oil when you're cooking or baking. Not only is it healthy, but studies have shown it boosts resistance to viruses and bacteria that can make you sick. Okay, so we've talked about the health of our bodies. Now let's talk about stimulating our minds. Coming up, we're going to learn about a monthly luncheon to teach you more about your community. Sean?
That's right, Jimmy. The Lewis Lunch and Learn is a series of presentations on the history of Lewis and the surrounding areas. And I don't know about you, but I always do my best learning over a good lunch. I'll tell you more about it coming up.
Isn't that the truth? A little later on, we're learning all about the 3rd annual Finnegan's Wake here on Delmarva and getting a taste of the event with these little goodies, loaded red potatoes and corned beef sliders. But first, come be a part of the Delmarva Life Studio audience. We promise you, it's a great time for all. To book your seat, just visit WBOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page, or give us a call, 443-880-9116, Delmarva Life. We'll be right back.